Hey, it's episode 228 with my dear friend, Amy Harper from Dallas Market Center. Let's talk about your business, strategy, and the juicy details of what actually works, from mainstream fashion to fashion on Main Street, and the entire ecosystem behind it. How do we scale your company and do it with the balance and the happiness that we all seek? Let's hear from those insiders, experts, and strategists that actually make it happen. I'm your host, Ashley Alderson from the Boutique Hub, and I can't wait to chat. Okay, I am about to let you in on a total girl conversation where we may get off track. We may just think that we're having a girl conversation and we forget that there's a podcast recording, but nevertheless, it's going to be a lot of fun. You know, there's people that you come across in life and in business that you do business with that you just truly enjoy as a genuine friendship. And my relationship with Amy Harper is certainly that at Dallas Market Center. You're going to hear a little bit of the story, but Amy and her team were some of the very first to know about the Boutique Hub and really believe in our mission at the Boutique Hub, which then allowed us to host our very first boutique summit at Dallas Market Center. So ever since we first met, we became fast friends, had a lot in common, and we've had just a ball being able to work together and to serve our industry. And I just really appreciate the view that Amy and that everyone at Dallas Market Center has taken on what's happening in boutique retail. They're super progressive about offering opportunities for boutique retailers, providing education, and of course, collaborating with the Boutique Hub. So today we're going to do a couple of things that I'm excited to share with you. Whether you are new to attending a market or you're an old vet, we are going to cover some tips. So I want to give you today 5 key takeaways that you'll also find in the show notes on how you can better maximize your time at market. We're going to talk about how market plays a role in what I consider to be omni-channel wholesale today, where a lot of retailers that we work with are both going to market. They're maybe going to LA, they're buying online. Wholesale is really this all-encompassing omni-channel experience, but specifically the question is, where does the role of wholesale markets play into that omni-channel experience, and where do we feel like that's going to go into the future? We'll talk about that as well. And then finally, what is new and what's happening at Dallas Market Center? For those of you that maybe are more involved in the Western side of the retail and wholesale industry, there's been a lot of talk about Dallas Market Center and its opportunity that it will have in January of 2021 to host the WESA Market, which has been in Denver for the last many years. So we're going to talk a little bit about the changing tide with WESA and that Western market moving to Dallas, but also what everyone, Western or not, can expect at the upcoming October Dallas Market. We'll specifically talk about trends that you're going to see there, new opportunities for education that you're going to see there, and what types of vendors you're going to see in Dallas. So we've got lots to cover, plus, again, a lot of girl talk because we had a great time on this episode. So guys, I hope you enjoy it. Please do DM me on Instagram if you guys have any questions at all at Boutique Hub Business or at AJ Alderson. Or if you want to reach out to Dallas Market Center as well, I know they're happy to answer your questions. Just in time for this podcast, we also decided it would be fun to do a little giveaway. So for those of you that are listening, make sure you check out the show notes because again, our 5 tips for attending apparel markets are inside, but also the link to enter our giveaway, which is going to include travel and accommodations for one of you, actually I think one of you and a guest, to attend Dallas Market Center and the market of your choice. So be sure to enter that giveaway. It's only open for, I think, a week after this podcast airs, so it's going to go pretty quickly. Check it out on social as well. But again, if you've got any questions about attending markets, I'm all ears. I would love to help you guys. So with that, I hope you enjoy the episode and in meeting my friend, Amy. Hey guys, I think you're going to get in on some girl talk today. We're going to talk about going to market. We're going to talk about Dallas Market, but I'm so excited to introduce you to one of my favorite people in this entire industry. I'm not even joking. When you meet Amy Harper in person, you are going to love her to pieces as much as I do. So you guys, please help me welcome to the show today, Amy Harper, who is the VP of Retail Development for Apparel and Accessories and International Business at Dallas Market Center. Hello, Amy.
Hey, Ashley. Hey, everybody. It is so great to be here. I don't know if you all can tell, but I'm just grinning ear to ear.
So,
I am. My cheeks are hurting.
someone said to me the other day when we were in Dallas, they were like, "You always talk about Amy Harper. How do I find her?" I'm like, number one, she's the only one on the team with curly hair. Number two, she will have the biggest smile out of anybody you see at Dallas Market Center.
Thank you. I love that. Yes, I am the only one with curly hair. I didn't even think about that. Yes, and I don't know. I feel like I hate to say it. I don't want to be that person, but I feel like I always am happy and I'm in a good mood because I love the business and I love what I do. So I'm always ready to roll, and I love meeting new people. So I hope that if you do see me, please come and talk to me.
Oh,
Stop me.
it's so refreshing because every time we go there, I feel like I have always said this, and this is nothing new to you, but I always feel like it's old home week because we go to market, we talk about business, we work with our vendors, we work with the boutiques, but then, we go have margaritas and we have a great time because
That's
it is
right.
like family there.
Well, you know what? And we consider you guys family. It really is. I mean, that's just how we do that's how we do things here. And maybe that's why I'm always smiling, working with people that make you feel comfortable and make you feel
Hmm.
welcome and everything. I think that's a key. I mean, it's just like your entire team. At Boutique
Yeah.
Hub. I mean, every single person, it's they're like family. And yeah, we love having you guys here.
Yeah, life's too short to do business any other way, right? Than to
I
not absolutely
couldn't
enjoy
agree
it.
more.
Yes. So, couple
Absolutely.
couple things I want to talk about today. I know we've got lots to talk about just in terms of what's new at DMC, but we do get a lot of. I don't want to say that this show is going to be for just new boutique owners, but I do want to start there. If someone's never been to a market before, talk to me about why should
Mhm.
someone go to market versus just ordering wholesale product online.
Oh, that's a great question. And I think it's so important for a business owner that is in this industry to come to a market. And first and foremost, you have to learn. I think I don't know, I'm a hands-on person, I'm a visual person, and it's great to see things at home and in the comfort of your home on the computer. But it's another when you're walking around and you feed off of the energy and you get excited and it kind of refreshes you and gives you inspiration on seeing product that you're not going to see online at home. You're going to see product that maybe you haven't been exposed to ever, and it's going to trigger you to think, you know what, I think I'm going to go into that a little bit of that niche. Whether it's shoes, maybe you have worked and thought about carrying shoes with your business, and it is just really you just haven't gone for it because it can be an investment. But when you get to market and you see them, all of the brands and all of the designs and everything, that's where that excitement takes over. And that's when you go back, I think, to your open to buy and say, you know what, I can manage this and I'm going to be able to sell it. For those that are brick and mortar that have never been to a market, oh my gosh, you're missing out. And the reason why, I think, is because the excitement that you have at market, like from walking around and seeing your peers be, doing business and excelling, in this world, you take that energy back to your staff in the store. And I think that that's a great way to get your team inspired and
Mhm.
share with them photographs and your experiences and videos of the fashion show and all of that. I think I don't know, I feel like in this day and age, like, we have to work really hard to inspire each other, and that support system is really found at market.
Yeah, I really like that. I think, if you think about this industry as a whole, there's so many ways that you can conduct business, whether it's online or, going somewhere like LA or working directly with a vendor. But what you said, I think, matters in the sense of, man, community and that inspiration. You're seeing everything's merchandised right there for you. Plus, you're bringing such a diverse group of vendors under one roof that may not exist in small pockets elsewhere. So, can you kind of cover for me what categories, like what verticals are all covered inside of Dallas Market Center?
Everything. And I love saying that. I mean, we provide brands for our buyers across all industries, which is, to me, it's really fantastic. Many people don't realize that Dallas Market Center is all encompassing across our campus. So we cater to buyers of apparel, and that means men's, women's, children's, home and design. So interior decorators and designers, furniture stores, that sort of like, niche. We also have an entire lighting industry for residential and commercial. And of course, we cannot forget the gift industry that is so huge and
Yeah.
awesome, across the world. And then, the one that is a favorite in my eyes that we're moving into, and that is Western. So I think those are we have really focused on our like five, industry branches in the
Hmm.
wholesale business. And that's, it's apparel, home and design, Western, lighting, and gift. And I
I
think that's
love that.
pretty cool.
And
I think it gives
all
buyers an opportunity to really see, what's out there. And that's another reason why it's good to come to market.
definitely, and all different price points too. I think it's so easy, like you said, to get inspired by even what different industries or genres are doing, and you can bring a little bit different twist back to your store.
Absolutely. I think that's very important because, you may see furniture that would be wonderful in your store and you get inspired by it and you walk into the showroom here at the Market Center and they're
Mhm.
like, "Oh yeah, this is what you can do. You can customize it, you can do this." And financially, they have a higher price point and then they have a more moderate price point and they work with the business owners, and I think that's really important.
Mhm. Again, if someone's new, what help them understand what is the difference between what they might see on a temporary floor versus in a showroom.
Okay, so on our temporary floors, you will see booths that are hard wall built, so there's just no door, and you can walk around. It's just like a trade show, and you can walk around and you will see a variety of brands and goods that may interest you, and it's wonderful. You can just walk right into the booth and check things out. You can check out, you can touch the product, you can check out prices. A rep in the booth will come up to you and ask to assist or answer any questions you may have, but they're not going to, just jump on you. I think they want you to feel comfortable in their space. And then in a permanent showroom, what you're going to walk into, especially here in Dallas, is a multi-line rep showroom. And for those of you that are, not familiar with that term, a permanent showroom here in our building is, let's say, has about 30 lines in it, or it could have 15 lines in it. And there's a person that, that they own their business and it's the showroom and they represent all of these brands that you find within their permanent showroom.
Mhm.
And so it's wonderful. So if you're a buyer and you walk in and you just want to see one brand, you may find other brands in their showroom that you want to take a peek at before you leave. And so there's a lot of interaction, and it's just kind of, I always say it's kind of like walking into a specialty store. That's what it feels like walking into a showroom. It's just like a specialty store. They just only sell to buyers. They don't sell to consumers.
I agree. It definitely has that feel. And a lot of times that's where you'll find things like territory protection, and a little bit more, I would say like ongoing service to the boutiques.
Absolutely.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. So a representative of a brand, their job is to work not just for the brand, but for you as a business owner.
Hmm.
And they are responsible for making sure that your needs are taken care of. So if product is shipped and maybe it's not the proper goods, maybe it's the wrong sizes or the wrong color, those reps are immediately, you call them and they immediately get it taken care of for you, so the proper goods are sent directly to you immediately. They are there kind of like as your customer agent,
Hmm.
the in-between person between the brand and the business owner.
Perfect. So if someone hasn't been to market before, again, let's talk about a couple of things first-time market goers should definitely know about in terms of how to handle that first trip to market. So, and I'll jump in with you on a couple of these because we talk about this so often inside of boot camp and inside of some of our training programs for newer boutique owners. But let's talk about coming to market and exploring versus placing all of your orders at once.
Oh yeah. So my first recommendation, the moment you walk in our door, like, into a market, like do your research online beforehand.
Mhm.
Make sure that you've gone onto the website of the show and that you have checked out the floors or the space that you're going to be, utilizing while you're there at market. Check and see if they have any educational seminars or walking tours that would allow you to kind of familiarize yourself with the area. I think it's so important. As someone that's new to Dallas, we do a walking tour at 9 a.m. every morning during market, even the last day. And the reason why we do it is because, if you're embarking on a new business, you may not be able to take off, 3 or 4 days in a row. You may only be able to take off one particular day. And we don't want someone showing up in our building and not knowing what to do or where to go. And that walking tour lasts like 45 minutes, and we take you all around our campus, and we kind of, in like a Cliff Notes way, say, this is what you can find on this floor. This is what you can find on that floor. If you are focused on, women's apparel, we're going to show you which floors that you need to definitely check out. I think that's so important. That's like first and foremost. You have to kind of do your homework before you get there. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, totally. And I would even take that a little bit of a step further. So, depending on how long you've been in business, you're going to have varying levels of data. But I think it's really important that you come to market with a buying plan of some kind. Some of you I know work with companies like Management One, and you have these elaborate inventory plans where you're coming in and if you don't even know what that is, let me break it down a step further. You're looking at your business by classification. And you're saying, okay, it's not just tops that I'm buying, but truly it's blouses, sweaters, outerwear, graphic tees, rompers and jumpsuits. You're going into the more minutia level of your inventory, and you're saying, all right, what am I projected to do this quarter or whatever your buying, period or season is? What did I do, last time or last year this time or last month, or what do I think I can do? What do I have on hand at home already that's aged? Or what do I have on home that's fresh? And then of that, where's my gap? So what is my open to buy? What do I have available to me? And then what kind of cash am I going to put down in these areas based on what my best sellers currently are?
I mean, that should be like stamped in gold. It should be like, it really should be on, like, here is your tax number and your lease or your
Yeah.
business account, and that should come like in a plaque. Because it's hands down, it is the way to success.
Yes.
Yes,
Here,
100%.
here's how much money you can spend. So, piggybacking off of what you said, you come in and you've got a plan, right? You know what you need to buy when you come to market, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to buy it all in day one. So, going back to taking the tour and really getting the lay of the land, I would say, market's such a great time to also explore new vendors, look at quality, meet new people, make relationships. And if you don't place every single order immediately, that's okay, because vendors want you to be successful. They want to create a win-win partnership over time. So it's important to get the lay of the land and make sure you're buying right, not just buying the first prettiest thing that you see.
I have to agree with you. And I also think that as you're walking around and you start having conversations with with the brands, you will notice that the reps and the people that work for these companies, whether it's a multi-line rep or it is a person that directly works with a brand, you will learn that their best interest is making sure that you succeed. So
Yeah,
you may pick up an item that you just absolutely love, and they're like, nope, we're not cutting that. We're doing it in a different color, or we're doing this different because when it came out, the sleeve was too narrow, or, you really do. That is a huge a benefit, kind of going back to what we were saying about the difference between online and in market buy. That feedback is invaluable, especially when you're spending your money.
absolutely. Absolutely. Get to know them, because I guess if you're familiar with how the industry works as a whole, and they cut one sample, and I rodeo, this, so we're like a traveling road show, right? I think of reps
I
like the
love
same
it.
way. Like it's traveling circus where they're going from market to market sharing their samples. So they know, like, they have the data to know what's working in different places of the country and for stores and based on fit and trend. So it's important you have the relationship and you get that feedback from them.
Exactly. And as you return to market, when you are in need of immediate delivery goods, you have the ability, that rep and representative will have the ability to tell you, this is what I have, and it's selling like crazy. Like most, I think brands want, they want you guys to succeed. Not most, all of them do, because then they succeed. And
Mm-hmm.
if they will tell you those tips, I think, especially when you're putting in an order that is immediate delivery.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I
I
mean,
love
that's
that.
one
I
of
love it
the,
when they provide that feedback. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
no, you're totally fine. I think that's good. That's another question that you should ask right away is when you come to market, you'll see that all the hangers are usually color coded based on delivery date. So that's another thing. If you're new and you're walking into a booth, I mean, that's one of the first things the rep's going to tell you. And you're going to want to know what's your opening, what's your minimum order? Do you territory protect, or like what other terms do you have? And then how's your booth arranged? So I know how to navigate the booth that I'm walking into.
I think that's another great, that's like number 2
Perfect.
on the plaque. Yeah.
One more thing on the plaque. Can we talk about if you want to save like your handwriting the whole time you're at market? Because I write like a 12-year-old boy as it is. So you know what it's like at the end of market. Like you can't write your name half the time. So come prepared with a note card or stickers or something that has your store name, mailing address, your tax ID, all the important information that your brands are going to ask you about. You've got it on a card so they can just staple that right to your purchase order and they have it for safekeeping. Also make sure you've got a firm, like when the ship date is and when your cancel date is. So you're not getting summer goods delivered in September, for example. You've got all of that spelled out up front so you don't have to rehash it every time you sit down, and you can really get through several more booths that much quicker.
Definitely agreed. And I think, especially with shipping, I think being able to know if you want everything shipped at one time or if
Mm-hmm.
you take as ready, that's very important because of the shipping costs.
Yeah, you can have a lot of money tied up in shipping if it just comes as is versus if you wanted it consolidated. And there's services, actually, we have a couple wonderful services inside of the hub that will do that for you, that will go and consolidate, depending on what brands you're ordering from, that can offer consolidated shipping for you. What other tips do you have for first timers coming to market?
Let's see here. I was trying to think. Well, I think a tour and education leading in is key. And I think once you get to market, and you've got your open to buy set, and you look at the various, categories that you're looking, that you're interested in, and that's when you determine where you need to go during the show, like during the
Mm-hmm.
market, to see them. And I think allocating yourself a certain amount of time is key because you only have, you're very time sensitive at a market.
Mm-hmm.
And if you know that you're only staying a certain amount of nights and days, I think that's when you have to allocate, schedule yourself, because it's excitement. And again, you're feeding off the energy, and you
Mm-hmm.
could spend quite a bit of time just working one line, and then half your day is gone. And that's when you're like, oh no, I
Yeah.
haven't had a chance to, to go after this category. And so I do think that, sometimes having, I always say, a buying buddy is really good because
Yeah.
that person, can keep an eye on the clock.
Well, I like that. I think that's super smart. A buying buddy.
A
And if
buying
it,
buddy. Yeah, you don't
yes.
necessarily need their opinion.
If
I
it's
mean,
your
it's
husband, you
if
may have
they
a margarita and a watch, and that's all he needs.
It's exactly right. I mean, if you really trust your buying buddy's taste, I think it's wonderful. That's just an added bonus. But you really need someone that maybe doesn't, feed into the way we all do about this industry, all the excitement. Someone that's, a little bit
Yeah.
more focused and, keep an eye on the clock, because I do think at the end of each market, I always hear buyers saying, man, I did not have enough time. I meant to get back here, and I
Yeah.
didn't get to it. And I do think that that's important, especially if it's your first time or, it's your first year, because,
Hmm.
you got to cover all your bases and you learn as you go. So I think it's always best to do that in the beginning.
Super smart. And your buying buddy can help stick to your budget too, because it's really easy
Yes.
once you get there to get excited and get big eyes and big bellies, just like we sit down for dinner. And it's okay to stick to that budget and say no, but next time. And now you know where to come back next time. And even when you're running short on time, come around. And if you don't have time to place all those orders that last day when you're rushing out the door, take a photo, grab a card, make a connection, but just like get the idea while you're in the space and you're in that creative frame of mind that you could come back to later on.
I think that's key. And I also think that as you get to know people, and I know that your members are great at networking with one another,
Hmm.
I do think, like, if you do have to pass on something because you have, let's say you do not have any room left and you're open to buy, you can always, remember, oh, I saw Ashley buying that line, and I'm going to ask her how it sold this past season. And then, when you're coming back to market, I'm going to go back and check it out. It sold really well for her. The fit was great, and I really wanted it. I just couldn't do it then. And I do think that's how you upgrade and change product within your business.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's very smart. And it's funny when I go to market, I don't know if you feel like this too, but I feel like I can walk around no matter what market we're at, and I immediately can spot boutique hub members. Spotting boutique hub
Absolutely.
brands is one thing, right? Because they've got the little hub sign in their
Yes.
in their booth, and that is helpful. But the boutique owners are always the friendliest ones there. Like they're helping each other, they're excited, they're getting together. We've got meetups all the time. Um, but I don't know, tell me this, and maybe you're just like stroking my ego when you tell me this, but I feel like market was always so, like, not everyone was as willing in terms of retailers to speak to one another in
No, it was so
history.
competitive. No, it was so competitive. Absolutely. No, I totally agree with you. So, and I also think that it was, I hate to say the word corporate, but it was stiff. And, it was like, oh, I go to market. It was very like, you were better than everybody else because you owned your own business and you went to market. And heaven forbid that you actually communicate with, your friends that you knew in the business. Why are you laughing? I can't even believe I just gave that accent away, but it's so true. And
It's so good.
the women, that was when you would see, I mean, I will say the attire was glamorous and beautiful. That was when women dressed and wore white gloves and pill hats and their suits and everything to go to market because, going to market, you dressed because you were having to show off against all of your competitors. And now it's you come to market and people, if you're new, and I mean, I hate to say it, you do not have a stamp on your head, but we just know. We know you're new, and we're going to walk up and we're going to say, "Hey, can we help you find where you're going?" And it could be the most simple question, where's the ladies' room? Well, you're just going to go right down here. And but back then you would not. And it's just I feel like market has evolved to a much more it's a happier place. We want to help each other. We want everyone to succeed. And I love that support system.
Oh man, that makes me feel so good. Like that's what community over competition is all about. Business is lonely as it is. It's so hard and it's so lonely. And if you don't have a support system, man, you've got to have someone that's going to help you through the tough times because they're going to come no matter what in business. But man, you need a cheerleader that's going to cheer you on in the good times just as much.
I agree. Boutique Hub has really brought the community together, and whether you're a buyer and a business owner or a rep or a brand, and I love that so much. I mean, really what you've done has changed this industry so much and has allowed it to push it forward and evolve. And I think that's the support, and the ties that it needed. You came in at the best time. I
Uh,
can't say that enough, Ashley. I can't. You really did. I mean, you saw it and you recognized it and you just jumped right in. And, I just think I really do love that about Boutique Hub because it has really allowed small business owners to excel and succeed and continue to grow business. And I think it's so important.
oh man, well, thank you, first of all. But second of all, that wouldn't have been possible. I'm going to stroke your ego now. That would not have been possible without you, my friend, because you were the very first person that said, "Oh, hi, crazy woman with a wild idea. I'll take you up on that offer. Let's host an event together." And you did. And it was like 4 months before the event was going to happen. I mean, you must have thought we were nuts, but you went for it. And look at, because you believed in that mission, Amy, then you helped make that possible. Like if you wouldn't have believed in it, I don't know where we would be right now. But that was the very first step that was monumental for us.
I'm going to tell you a really funny story, and I can't believe I'm even saying this. I'm grinning ear to ear. Thank you. I mean, you know what? I was so confident when the first time we spoke. I just thought they're onto something here, and I have to tell you, the first time we had a chat about having Boutique Summit in Dallas, I remember. Yeah, it was like 4 months, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I
it
think
was
so.
fast.
Yeah. And it was fast. And I remember you were like, yeah, I'm going to cap it at this number. And I remember getting off the phone and just saying to myself, I'd just be happy with 50 stores. Like, like because and it wasn't because things were bad, because they weren't. It was just I was so impressed with what you had already, everything that you had done thus far. And at that time, I mean, even more so now, but at that time, and I thought I would just be happy to host 50 business owners that are going to network with one another and support each other and learn from one another. And it was so much more. So I was just so excited that we pulled it off.
Oh
Like
my gosh.
it was great. It really was great, and
Yeah,
it continues to be great.
we had like, what did we have the first year? 350. We
Something
had
like that.
350 guests.
375? Yeah,
Yeah, it
maybe
was
something like that.
375.
Yeah.
Amazing. And there was two of us and on the boutique hub team. It was me, Beth and Jesse were part-time at that time. Like
Yeah.
we were
Well, wasn't
so,
Jessie pregnant?
who was pregnant? Yeah, Jesse would have been.
She would have been pregnant.
No, she
And
wasn't pregnant yet.
no,
It
not
was
yet.
right before she got pregnant
Oh,
because we got
okay.
carbon monoxide poisoning, yada yada. And
Oh gosh.
nobody was pregnant at that time.
That's right. That's right. Thank goodness. Oh my
Right.
gosh.
But the
It didn't
other
happen in the building.
no, I always feel like I have to clarify that for people. Like, yes, I did get carbon monoxide
But it
poisoning while in
wasn't it
Dallas.
wasn't
It was
inside the market center.
was not at Dallas Market Center. It all still worked out. We were fine. What's cool about this, though, let me take this a step further. So, community over competition has happened among stores, it's happened among brands, but I also feel like it's happened among markets, which is super cool. So the boutique summit started in Dallas. We held it there for 2 years. We went to Atlanta last year. And I think it's cool that you guys are still just as supportive today as you were then, even though that event has always been meant to like move around the country to give opportunity for all types of retailers to come and attend the event. I think that's really cool that you're so collaborative with other market centers as well.
Absolutely. And the main reason like for it is, one, we love you guys, we adore you guys, and we believe in everything in your mission. I'll just put it out there. We believe in everything you're doing. And at the same time, the only way for boutique small business owners to continue to grow and benefit from the hub is when you are allowed to reach as many out there as possible. And so understanding the movement makes perfect sense, because we want these retail stores to be successful, because if the retail stores are successful, the brands are successful.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think I can say the word successful again, but I might start slurring. But no, it's so true. I really do believe like that is our partnership. It's more than just a partnership. We consider you guys family, and we are supportive of what you're doing because we believe in it.
I love that. Thank you for that. Let's talk about another, collaboration or like another big change happening in our industry that's been huge news for you guys for the last, year and a half. And that is, we've held Western Summit in Denver for the last couple of years. And now that entire show, the WESA show, is moving to Dallas. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Absolutely. We have, so I'm just going to speak on floors. Our 14th floor currently right now is in transition to accommodate the premier Western brands in like a permanent capacity. Many of these showrooms will start opening in 2020, but everyone will be open by January 2021. And that will be the grand opening of the largest Western market in the world. How cool is that?
That is so cool.
I know, January 12th through the 16th. We're very excited, 2021. And on top of all, this part of this, like it's a partnership. WESA, the largest Western English apparel and equipment trade show, that's a mouthful, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Is moving to Dallas, and they will be debuting their show in January 2021, which will be on our 11th floor. And that currently, the 11th floor is under, construction in preparation for this amazing monster show. So we're all very excited. It's a great partnership. I mean, I don't know. It's, I wake up every morning and I think, I can't believe we did it. Like, I can't believe this is happening, and it's going to be here before we know it.
I think that's awesome. It's going to be such a great change. And we're excited to be a part of that too.
I know, because then you'll be here for the Western Summit. I know. I love it. It is. It's going to be January 2021. It's going to feel so good. It
It
is.
is.
It's gonna feel so good, and everyone is gonna be learning and buying and making new relationships and seeing, all that we have to
Hmm.
offer. And I
Yeah.
can't wait.
Change is hard in any industry, but change is hard in this industry. And I know this didn't come easy. So I really need to commend you and your team for all that you've put into this, and everyone on the WESA team as well, all that they've put into this. I think it's really cool to see these two communities come together the way that they have.
Oh, thank you. I know Dallas Market Center appreciates that, and I know Wessa does too. I feel like both teams have really, they just sat down, they put their heads together, and they made it
Hmm.
happen. Hmm.
Absolutely. All right. So let's talk about what else is happening inside of DMC. I know you've got a market coming up in October. So let's start there. Talk to me about what everyone's going to see at the October market, and maybe even some trends that you think are going to be coming at that time as well.
Oh, this is fun stuff. Okay, so this upcoming October, first and foremost, I have to, remind everyone, we made a day pattern shift. So our markets are running Tuesday through Friday instead of Wednesday through Saturday. So we have had feedback over the past year from our buyers and our exhibitors, and stores are wanting to be home for the weekend to do business and live their lives, and our exhibitors are wanting to support their buyers. So we made that day pattern shift for this upcoming October show, and the market is October 22nd through the 25th. And I think product source opportunities to talk about, just, if you decide to come to October market, we have added some fun things. And we have heard from a lot of buyers that are interested in plus size options, like collections, true plus size collections, that
Hmm.
they were having a hard time finding them. And we wanted to make it super easy. So at market, at all of our info booths, we will actually have a list available for all buyers to be able to see all of the plus size collections that are in the Dallas Market Center. And I think that's going to be great. I
I
think
think
it's
that
going to
is
be
great.
yeah, for the brands. And then, of course, at October, there's a spring focus. And, with this focus, you're going to see a lot of new contemporary resources on our 13th floor in Temps. Brand Assembly will be here with
Mhm.
their high-end contemporary brands. And of course, fashion accessories, I think, sourcing accessories throughout the show, I think is so much fun. I think it's like a treasure hunt, and you get to
Mhm.
find some really great things. And I think that, we're going to see accessories obviously transition for spring. And I think we're going to see a lot of that during the show as well.
I love that. I love the accessories market. Actually, one of our biggest members, I'll say like collaboration of members, is part of the embellishment showroom. And they had a
Hmm.
big move under the last market. Or wait, has it been two markets? Just one market.
Oh, yes. And you know what? I actually had that in part of my growth, like opportunities, ideas I wanted to talk with you about. I'll hop around. I'll talk about a little bit about that, because it's not just for October. It's all the time. And then I'll maybe flip back to trends. But the seventh floor has 10 new cash and carry showrooms,
Wow.
and embellishments is one of them. We have kind of just moved everyone around. We have new showrooms that have opened, and the vendors they're having a ball on the seventh floor. So that, like, the new showrooms include like apparel, handbags, jewelry, accessories.
Mm.
I think it's a definite like must stop when you come to our show in October for
Oh, I
sure.
totally. It was really happening the last time I was there. Like to all of those vendors, and I think pretty much all of those are members of the hub. So, I mean, I commend them. They worked their butts off to make that transition happen. It looked beautiful. It was packed. But Amy, that's such a trend and a demand in the industry. You mentioned having more accessibility to extended sizes a minute ago. And I
Yes.
hear that like that's a resounding, desperate, please help the retailers do that. So thank you for that. But number two is everybody wants more immediates. They want
Yes.
more cash and carry. So the more you can continue to recruit brands to offer that to retailers, I think that's a huge win.
I think so too. And I think we've done a really good job at like merchandising it on our seventh floor.
Hmm.
So that when you go there and you're having to make all these purchases, it's kind of, I don't want to say it's like the last stop, but maybe like you plan your afternoon that way, so you can, take your load out
Right.
or have it shipped, depending upon how big it
Bring an
is.
empty suitcase with you. Actually, you know what's really smart? I'll let you in on this little like insider tip, right? I've seen so many boutiques come with their suitcase on day one. They go to cash and carry. They buy amazing things. They go back to their hotel room. And like video selling, live sales are so huge right now. There's a
Yes.
lot of them that go back to their hotel room, do a live sale, sell everything they bought in cash and carry on day one, and go back on day two and refill their suitcase.
Brilliant. I think it's perfect.
You just pay for your trip right there, right?
That's right. And it's done. And then you can just go back and get more. I think that's perfect. I love that. Also, okay, so I was mentioning accessories in October. We also so our 13th floor have a lot of permanent accessory, fashion and jewelry showrooms.
Mm-hmm.
These are not cash and carry, but we have also opened 24 new showrooms on the 13th floor.
Wow.
So exciting. I know. So a lot of this has to do with transitioning, getting ready for the Western and WESA, show in January 2021 that we've already discussed. So there is a lot of movement and a lot of new showrooms opening. So we're excited. 24 new showrooms. I mean, the 13th floor is packed. So you have your permanent showrooms on 13, and it's not just accessories. It's also going to have women's apparel and as well as shoes. So it's going to be a great floor to stop by and check out. You're going to be able to investigate and see new things. I'm excited about that. And then we have 8 new showrooms on our 15th floor. And that includes like athleisure, contemporary, as well as like women's better to bridge collections. So there's a lot to see in October.
Yeah, there's some really cool things up there. I know sometimes that floor doesn't always get as much traffic as I think it deserves, but man, there's some really cool things if you're willing to just go and investigate and see what's up there. I think it's awesome.
Absolutely. And I would advise that for someone new, set aside time where you can, after you've done the tour, that you can, walk around and go back and really make some notes, maybe even an hour just so you know that you're not missing something that you just really must have. Our 14th floor will be in transition during October market into 2020. And that's like what I mentioned earlier. That's where basically they're going to be demolishing what's currently there and rebuilding for the premier Western brands to take their permanent showrooms. And, some will be open. I think there might be 1 or 2 open in October, but each time we go through a market in 2020, you'll see more and more vendors opening up on that floor.
Awesome. I love that. One thing as I'm hearing you speak that I really want to make sure we talk about and mention is how, if you're a Boutique Hub member, how do you maximize the market experience when you're in Dallas? And so there's 2 things I want to just really mention quickly is number 1, if you don't know Ed, our director of wholesale already, he's from Dallas. And so I think Ed comes to just about every market, doesn't he, Amy?
Everyone.
And you guys have been so generous. You've offered showroom space to us at the Hub. So Ed is he's like the king of the showroom, right? Like he always has food. He always has drinks. He always has, anything you need as a boutique owner. If you just need to go take a break somewhere and talk to Ed, he's such a mentor in this industry. So thank you for that, first of all. But second of all, there's always, we have a must-see list for all of our members that's at the shows and in the showroom, where we list out all of our Boutique Hub members that you can come and see at the market. And then so many of them offer specials to Hub members. So when you walk around and you've got your pink Hub lanyard on or your Hub button, and you come into all those, that are listed on the must-see list or that have the Hub sign in their showroom or in their booth, that's how you know you've got an awesome vetted Boutique Hub member that's looking for you and wants to collaborate with you as well.
I have to interject one thing. I think Ed is like second in line for heaven in my book. I just he is a true gem. He's such a
gem.
True person. I mean, I enjoy working with him, and I love it when I message him and say, hey, I've got a room for you during market. And he's like, I'm ready to go. I have all my decor. You just tell me when and where.
Oh, I love that.
And I love that because he has such a passion for what he does, and it's intoxicating. I love it. He shares it with everyone, and it's so great.
It is. He truly wants to see everyone succeed, because he's been on the vendor side of things forever, but he's also been on the buyer side of things. He was a buyer at Nordstrom, so he truly understands both sides of the industry and has such great advice. So if you're somewhere and you're like, man, I really could use an ear right now that understands how I could do better either as an exhibitor or as a retailer, please go find Ed in our showroom.
Absolutely. He's your man.
He's the man. Who's the first in line for heaven in your book?
Harrison, my son. So let's hope my husband doesn't listen to this. But no, Ed and my husband are like second in line together. But I will say Harrison's number one.
That is so sweet. Oh my gosh. Oh, Harrison, he's so sweet. He
Thank
kills
you.
me.
So I'm sorry. I just had to say that because I do, like I said, I think that the hub is so lucky to have him, and I think that your members are just so lucky to be able to work with your entire team, because you all are just, like I said, you are in ensuring that they continue just to have success, and that makes me real happy because that makes everyone else in the industry happy. So good
Oh,
for you
thank you.
all. I love
That's
it.
such a
Yeah.
love fest over here. I
It
appreciate that.
is.
Thank
I
you.
can't stop smiling. But you mentioned trends. You want to talk about trends?
Yeah, let's talk about trends.
Okay. Well, first, I'm not a trend forecaster, but I thought about this when you mentioned trends for spring, and I kind of put my buyer's hat on because I used to do that back in the day, and I thought from a buyer's perspective, I always considered like maybe like the top three things that a true consumer is interested in as they transition their wardrobe from winter to spring. And, I know that hub members know this very well, but, buyers must know, for those of you that are new, buyers must know their consumer in order to translate trends, because I think that's so important. Some trends can be just really out of this world. And I think having the gift of being able to translate them for your consumer base is key when you're at market.
Mm.
So, wouldn't you agree? I mean, I think
Yes.
that's really important. And like I said, I'm not a trend forecaster, but I do have the obsession. I pay attention to
Yes.
fashion weeks, and New York just had their fashion week, and Milan just had theirs, and I think Paris is actually running right now, and they're showing a lot of amazing fashion accessories and jewelry. And so I wanted to touch on some things that I think our buyers should be looking for while they're at market in October. Um,
Absolutely.
so one thing for sure is statement earrings. I mean, we all love
Mm.
them. And I think it creates a great mood for the person wearing them, but it's such a good conversation starter. So I always recommend that you wear like your statement earring if you're going to meet new people, because I think it's just a great way to get to know someone. The big hoops are back, and every color and texture, which is so fun. And I was really surprised to see oversized chains and medals. It reminded me of
Flavor Flav.
um,
I'm just kidding.
I was just about to say that. I'm gonna be like, who is the guy with the clog around his neck? Yes, these but like in acrylics and metals that have been embossed with rhinestones or beads. Remember the colorful gems that we saw like in the rainbows this summer?
Yeah.
They're continuing them on like just in bigger more statement pieces. And one of my favorites is pearls. I don't know if it's because I'm a Gemini, but I just think classic pearls are so great, but they're also bringing back colored pearls, which is fun if you're trying to make a funky look, a little bit Chanel. And then the one thing that is new is the matching handbag. So the statement handbag we're seeing is going to stay. Like statement handbags are here to stay, but they're matching bags to outfits. So if you're wearing a black and white outfit, your handbag is going to be black and white too. And I thought that was kind of fun and feminine for
Hmm.
spring.
I love
Footwear.
that.
Yeah, what about footwear? Footwear is great. That's that would be my second one, because I think that, even if you're not carrying footwear with your
Yeah.
business, you still kind of have to think of when you're buying for your apparel, what type of shoes that your customer is going to be wearing.
I think
And what
it's such a huge opportunity, a huge
I do
missed
too.
opportunity for a lot of retailers to miss out on footwear. And to me, that's one of the number one reasons to go to market, period, is footwear.
I agree. Hmm. Because
Oh,
I think if you're looking at footwear nowadays, so many brands they do not require you to buy the full size set. They are allowing you to do like the half order. I don't know
mhm,
if I'm saying that right, but instead of doing like the full size range, which can be
a full
financially
case pack.
there you go, a financially taxing, especially if you're just getting into shoes, you're able to go to the half and carry just like the priority, maybe onesies of the sizes that are the most popular. And I think that's a way to get your customers excited that you're going to
Mhm.
be going into shoes and footwear. But what I love, have you noticed that the square toe is coming back?
Yes, very
It's
much. That's like
sandals.
a high fashion trend that's now making its way into, I would say,
Finally.
more like boutique level, right?
Yes, I love it. And I love seeing that they're keeping like loafers with the really chunky heel for
Hmm.
spring. I love that. And then I was surprised to see that bows are coming back on the tops of shoes. It reminds me of the Salmon Libby. Do you remember those little ballet flats that had the bows over the toe?
Yes,
Salmon Libby?
yes.
Yeah, they're showing a lot of bows, and I thought that was fun too.
A little more feminine twist on things.
Yeah, for spring. And then for apparel, oh my gosh. I mean, how fun. It always anytime I think of spring, I think of The Devil Wears Prada and when she says floral for spring.
Groundbreaking.
Yes. Thank you.
We're the same person. I could quote movies with you all day long.
I love it so much. And so I got tickled at myself when I started thinking of like, well, what trends would you talk about for spring? I immediately thought of that movie. And I thought, okay, so I recommend that when you're like checking things out at market, to experiment with some prints. You're going to see the change of fabrics from heavy to light. And, some prints do better on lighter weighted clothing. And I think that you're going to see a lot of like polka dots and tropical prints. I didn't want to say floral just because. And the colors, normally we see pastels, but now they're moving towards more citrus colors with like lime greens and bright oranges. And so I think
Mhm.
that's kind of new. Oh, this one is good. So who all, just dove into the white denim craze this past spring and summer of
Mhm.
this year, and now the way that they transitioned it is to go into the full all white suit, and I think that's stunning on
Mhm.
any woman. I feel like if a woman walks into a room and they have on a white or ivory suit, every person in the room turns and looks at them. I don't know why. It's just a firm belief that I have.
I completely agree with that. And I've been seeing them, honestly, even into fall, the whole like don't wear white after Labor Day
Hmm.
jazz. It's still everywhere. I've been shopping for NFR, and actually one of my favorite boutiques, Buck and Wild Designs, she knows my style. She's got the cutest white blazer right now that I want to buy so bad for Vegas. But I think suits, like blazers and then matching power suits and white and like light colors, baby pinks and things too, are 100% on trend for spring and for fall
Yes,
in just a different color
absolutely.
palette.
I agree. I think that white suit would be something that would just see you through for the whole year. I really
Yeah.
do. They're perfect. And I think it doesn't matter what size you are, it doesn't matter what hair color you are. Anyone can wear that color. You know what I mean? And you can
Hmm.
put you can put your lime green with it or your bright orange or just black and white. Like I just think it's perfect. And then I was trying to think like here in Dallas, like I said, I'm not a trend forecaster, but we do have people that come in that are. And during October, Doniger's group presentation will be covering spring trends, and they are the trend leaders. So I think that if you were at the show, you'd be able to capture, like kind of like what you must add to your spring list, and you would immediately know how to translate that trend for your, for the right price point and the right for your customer.
Hmm.
Um, well, I will say this, I'm bragging, but I know the secrets of our fashion show that's coming up in October. And I've seen the sketches and the preliminary plans. And I can't tell you, like, I can't wait. I know that we put our fashion show live on Facebook on the Dallas Market Center Facebook page, but it always comes after. It's recorded during the show and then they post it after. But I will tell you, it is going to be so inspiring. I mean, we try really hard to inspire the buyers when they come to market because, I don't know. I feel like that's our job, and I feel like it's our exhibitors' job to take care of our buyers. So it's going to be there's a lot of floral. Again, devil's words Prada, but I know that the fashion show it's going to tie all of spring together, all those trends together, and give great sourcing opportunities for buyers. So if you are new and you have not experienced a fashion show here in Dallas, we do provide the lines and the brands that are on the models while you're at the show. So you have the ability to take notes, proper notes, so you can plan the next day to maybe stop by and check out those lines. I don't know. Overall, we just want to inspire you as you complete your buy, when you're at market. So, but this fashion show, I think it's going to be just amazing. I
I
was
love
going to
it.
say off the chain, but I don't want to age myself.
You're just going back to the Flava Flav.
That's right. I just have to just tie it all back in.
Oh my gosh. When I was driving home like really late last night from the airport. And so to keep myself awake, all I did was listen to 90s rap. So, I mean, we are the same human for that reason. It works. It works.
It does. It was really a good decade.
I told you guys listening to this podcast is like going to be listening to a girl's like chat on the inside. Are we even recording right now? We're just having a good time talking to one another, I think.
Having a great time.
All right. So last but not least, if anyone has not been to Dallas before, so, you know, I'm a Midwest girl, what are some things people should do and expect? And tell me about the hotel room situation. Like, what do people need to know about visiting Dallas when they come to market?
Well, I love your first question. Why Dallas? And obviously I'm partial, but I have been here, quite some time. And I have to say, I think we get it. Like, I think that the wholesale business is in Dallas Market Center's DNA. I feel like we've been a leader in the industry for, I don't know, I think it's over 60 years now. And I come from a specialty store background. So I think the importance of the fact that the original family that created the Dallas Market Center, the business, still owns us. I think it extends, across all small business owners because they're managing and running their business just the same. I don't know. To me, that's like one of those things. I care about that. You all, small business owners, your members have created your business and you've invested your passion and your knowledge and you've hired the best staff and support system. And I don't know, I think that is what continues, because we've done the same thing. And I think that's what continues to move us forward as the industry evolves. So that's really like my answer to that question. And I know it's so broad and vague and like doesn't really like go for all those details, but I don't know, that's just my passion for this company. I just think from a boutique owner's viewpoint, Dallas Market Center is no different than they are because we are still owned by the original family. We take our customer service and hospitality to heart. And I think that's what every small business owner does as well. Mm-hmm. And when you come to Dallas, we try so hard to provide you with as much, the best customer service. So if you are in need of booking a hotel room or your air, we have an in-house travel agency and we don't make commission off of anything. So like if you call into like a regular travel agent to book air, I think you get charged. I've never done that, but I think you get charged like, their fee. Well, we don't do that at all. It's really just to get you booked at the special rate that we have arranged with the hotels that surround our market center and allow you that ease of knowing that if, we have a 24-hour, hotline that you can call in case you arrive at the airport and you can't find your hotel confirmation. Mm-hmm. So there are little ways, like those are benefits that we try to extend to those that come to our show. I don't know. I think relationships are key too. And I think that the more people that we have ties to and they know how hard we work to make our market successful, not only for our exhibitors, but our buyers, I think that goes a long way.
Definitely. And also, the food. Could we also mention
that? I think the food's pretty darn good. And in Dallas, in the city of Dallas, I honestly, and I hate that I do not know the official title that the city of Dallas was just given. But if I'm not mistaken, and if I am, just know that I'm just playing around. But I really do believe the city of Dallas was just given an award for being like the best place, like the best city in the United States. And it has something to do with because we have the best restaurants. We do have chain restaurants here, but the majority of eateries are privately owned. So again, it goes back to the small business mindset, and the food here is fabulous. I don't care if it's sushi, if it's steak, if you're a vegetarian and anything, you name it. And there is a restaurant here that's going to cater to you and you're going to have so much fun.
I love it. You know what one of my favorites is? Can I give you this insider secret?
Yes.
The rodeo goat.
I ate there for lunch today.
Did you? I just love it. Oh my goodness.
I do too. I love their menu. I love everything that it stands for. And I love that when you go in, that they have burgers that compete against each other. So have you seen that?
No.
Okay, so I don't know, because the names of their burgers are just completely off, just different odd names.
Yeah.
And it's like, if Betty Sue barbecue burger is, 42 and, I don't know what the other one, the rodeo goat special is at 81. Like if you're interested in trying something new, you kind of know like what the favorite is, but they put different burgers to compete each other, like 2 burgers each day on the menu that compete against each
I
other.
never realized that they did that. That's interesting.
It is. It's fun.
So if you haven't been there, it's like the coolest burger place. And so even if you're like vegan or vegetarian, there's options for that there too, like their own Impossible Burger. But it's just a really cool atmosphere. They've got this cool like outdoor patio. That's my favorite. My favorite burger, I forget what it's called, but it's the one with the egg on it.
Oh. I think I've had that one. Does it have a little bit of spice to it?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
No?
It's kind of spicy.
I can't remember what it's called. I had the DCC cheeseburger today. I was real mainstream today. I didn't really like the 2 that were competing against each other. So I thought, okay, I'm just going to go. I will tell you, it's crazy. Their queso there is to die for.
Oh, their queso is to die for.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It's delicious. That's a good favorite to have.
Amy, I'm getting hungry. I feel like I need to come to Dallas now. We need to change the subject. Gosh. Well, Amy, this was so much fun. Thank you for taking the time to chat with me today. I hope that if you guys are listening that you learned something about going to market, about trend and about DMC, but really thank you for being such an awesome friend of ours and a friend of our communities and for always looking out for what's best for this industry. I just really admire that about you. So please, hats off to your entire team and thank you for being on the show.
Well, Ashley, you're doing great things for this business. And I think your members and business owners in this industry know it. And they're so thankful for you and Boutique Hub and the entire team. I mean, I'm so proud of all of your accomplishments. You're really going after it. And I can't wait to see what's yet to come. You know what, Dallas, we're family. We're a loyal partner with you all and as well as a supporter. So thanks for having me. This has been so exciting. I've never done a podcast before. And I can't tell you, like I've been telling everyone, you would have thought I was going to be in a movie today. And so, you know what? Hats off to Boutique Hub. We can't wait to welcome you guys back in October and into 2020. I can't wait for the Western Summit. It's going to be great in January 2021. So there's so much to look forward to. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. Have an awesome day, Amy.
Thank you. You too.
Hey guys, I hope you found this episode helpful in your journey to attending either your first market or attending a market in Dallas for the first time. I want to let you know that I'm teaming up with Dallas Market Center today to offer a fun giveaway for this podcast. So if you haven't had a chance yet, follow the link in the show notes to enter our giveaway. We're going to be giving away travel vouchers for you to attend a Dallas market of your choice, some Boutique Boss swag, and just in time for the holidays, I want to get you a copy of our Holiday Marketing Mastermind course. So one lucky winner is going to walk away with a boatload of prizes. So follow the link in the show notes and we can't wait to get you entered. Hey guys, thank you so much for listening to this episode. We hope that you loved it. Don't forget to hit subscribe and leave a rating and review down below for a chance to be one of our featured listeners each and every week. For more information on our spirit of community over competition and how to access complete show notes and bonus downloads from our guests, head on over to theboutiquehub.com and join the community. We'll see you next week.